So I have two girls, three children, two girls, 9 and 5. A couple years ago, I remember standing and watching them on top of the table in our living room. There was a movie playing, and they were screaming at the top of their lungs, holding onto each other's hands, and they were raising their arms up in the air, screaming and singing this song. And it was "Let It Go, Let It Go, Let It Go," and they were just rallying in the living room with this song. And I was reminded of what one of my friends had told me about Disney, which was Disney was on top of trends in the marketplace, ahead of almost everyone. And no one ever looks at what Disney's doing, because Disney invests literally hundreds of millions of dollars in trying to figure out how do we sell to the next generation. So what Disney figured out inside the movie Frozen, that it hooked my daughters, hook, line, and sinker, which is that women are rising. Now that might be ironic, being that I run an entire movement leading men. But why do I lead men? Because men forgot who the fuck they were. And inside of that disempowerment, women said, okay, you're not going to rise, then we will. The big challenge that's existed for business women across the world has been having mentorship and guidance from other powerful women. Yes, there's always a shitload of guys who are out there to coach, guide, and instruct you on how to do things. But at the end of the day, a penis is not a vagina. And no matter what you try to do as a man, you'll never be a woman. And you'll never actually understand what it is to be a powerful woman, leading powerful women while men are around. There are a few trainers and a few coaches I have met over the years, and I endorse almost none of them inside of the game of training. But there are a handful of women who I believe have the ability to lead women like you, and a few brave men who have the courage and the balls to step into that arena with powerful warrior women who know what they're doing and who give a shit about what they're doing. One of those I had an opportunity to watch here as part of the ClickFunnels experience with Russell Brunson. And I actually got to watch her on stage, and I was part of a webinar series with her. And I remember being fascinated because so rarely do you see a woman who has not only claimed her power, but also has been willing to put herself in a public position to be scrutinized, to be persecuted, to be alienated, both by the women who wish they could obtain that kind of power and confidence and certainty in themselves, but also by the men who also sit on the sideline afraid of their own power, and now mirroring back to them is this woman who's rising. Liz has a message of empowerment, a message of you can be more, you can do more, and amidst all of the technicalities of what that execution may look like over time, meaning the how-tos. The one thing I can tell you is she's a woman who's not only had to take a stand, but she's had to take a stand in who she is individually, who she is in her relationship, who she is as a leader, and more importantly, who she is as a coach, a consultant, and a trainer in today's marketplace. There's a shitload of men that can train today. But Disney got it right. Women are rising. And Liz Benny may just be the coach and consultant you've been looking for. And yes, this might be some of you guys watching this, but I want this message particularly to go to the women. Because it's one thing for me to say you need to rise. It's another thing to have another woman stand and say the same thing. So it's my honor to give kind of my words to this and to speak to the character and the power of what I've seen on webinar, what I've seen from stage, and what I've got to experience in person with Liz Benny and who she is. And if you're a woman looking for somebody to guide you, she just might be your girl.